guys, in this month's Disney Rewind, we're going to be talking about Mary Poppins Returns. So before we head into this review slash discussion on the latest Mary Poppins movie, reboot, whatever you want to call it, slight spoilers, I suppose. We may blurt something out, so if you don't want any sort of spoilers, come back at a later point. But yeah, most likely some spoilers will surface somewhere in this video. So, Mary Poppins Returns, starring Emily Blunt and Lin Manuel Miranda. You gotta say his name slow. And Ben Whishaw. Taking place, I think, about, 30 years after the events of the very first Mary Poppins movie. The original classic with, Julie Andrews and Dick Van Dyke and whatnot. So, Stephanie, what did you think about Mary Poppins Returns?
I enjoyed it.
How did you?
I honestly don't really remember anything from the original Mary Poppins, except for some scenes. But I enjoyed the cast and the songs. I think, though, it's a little weird going into it and listening to the songs, because you've got, the older songs, the old original songs in your head, and they might not live up to the old songs. But I still enjoyed the music.
I think I was a little shocked when it opened up with a musical number, because I don't think I was entirely aware that this would be a musical.
Yeah.
Am I just stupid? I
don't think it was either.
I don't think I was fully
when it
aware.
Starts okay, it's gonna be one of those.
Yeah, I was like, oh, wait a minute, this is gonna be like a full-blown musical, which I kind of wasn't expecting, to be quite honest. I don't know where I've been that I've not really kind of comprehended, that, but yeah, I was like, oh, this is gonna be like a musical, and it felt like a very traditional, classic movie musical, like the type that you would see from the 40s or 50s or 60s or something, And there were many occasions that I felt like I was watching a Broadway play. Just the way there would be a set, and then the camera would kind of be focused there, and then there would be musical numbers. It felt very Broadway at points, which didn't bother me. I like that. It just had, like I said, it had that very classic, Broadway slash.
It wasn't too flashy.
Yeah, it had that classic Broadway slash movie musical, traditional movie musical. So, yeah, I was pleasantly surprised with Mary Poppins. I wasn't really sure what to expect. Yeah, like Stephanie, I can't really remember too much about the original movie. I've definitely seen it several times, but yeah, when I was younger. And I kind of have certain things that are sticking out to me, mostly the musical numbers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't really remember the plot.
Plot-wise, I don't...
Yeah, I can't remember the plot of the original movie. I think as a kid, those musical numbers and the animations stick out more than anything.
Was it Daddy wasn't paying attention to them, or something?
Yeah, something about Mr. Banks was having issues and ignoring his own children. I don't know, I can't remember. But yeah, so I kind of went into this not really remembering the original too well, but kind of the basics, I suppose. And I think what I enjoyed the most, I really enjoyed the premise. Because like I said, I think this takes place about 30 years or so after the original movie. And I just liked Michael and Jane as adults, and Michael having his own children, and his wife is dead, and that there's a lot of drama going on there. I just really liked the premise.
Disney was like, we took over Mary Poppins, and your mom's dead.
There goes Disney, killing another parent. At least they had Michael. But yeah, I really enjoyed the premise, because I think I was kind of sitting there thinking, oh, this is just going to be a rehash of the original movie, I mean, in some ways it is, but not really, I think it's a lot more sad and emotional, compared to that first movie. What did you think of the performances, Stephanie? Actor-wise, I guess.
They were great.
Yeah.
Lin Manuel, whatever that.
Lin Manuel Miranda. why is his name so difficult to pronounce?
I think it's the double N thing.
I think it is, because it's like I gotta focus and make sure I'm saying his name correctly, or else it's gonna come out like all vice versa.
And I got like issues with saying an L, so like saying Lin to me is just like, bleh. He had a great Cockney accent.
Yeah, I know people always go on about Dick Van Dyke from, you know, the original, about his Cockney accent. That was terrible, and it is terrible, but I think Lin Manuel Miranda, I think his was good. I think it was better than Dick Van Dyke's.
I liked it. It sounded, I don't know, I think it sounded natural to me, yeah, but then again, we don't have a Cockney accent, so what would we know?
We don't live, we don't live around Cockney people, but it sounded genuine to me. Yeah, I really liked
It's probably going to make me start talking for the next week.
Yeah, I really liked him in the movie.
I think when they first announced he was going to be in there, I was like,
yeah, I was like,
why?
Yeah, I had that initial reaction too. I was like, what? Just, I don't know, but I see now why they got him, because he does have that Broadway background, and he can sing and he can dance, and it's like they were making total use of that in the movie, because there were several moments where they definitely highlighted him. You know, highlighted his dancing and his just performance.
I think I enjoyed his performances more. I mean, I liked the other ones too, but I enjoyed his, because my favorite number was the street lamp thing. The street lamp with all the guys who light the street lamps. Yeah, that was really my favorite part. Yeah, that was really cool. Or my favorite number. You know what? And his character went in a direction I wasn't expecting, because when I first heard they cast Emily Blunt and him, I was like, oh, they're gonna be like love interests. Yeah, I thought that too for some weird reason. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why I thought that either, but I kind of was just kind of assuming that. You know, because I was thinking about like Mary and Bert from the original. Yeah. You know, that they kind of have a little bit of a flirtation going on, so I thought they would have a flirtation in this too. But maybe it's because, like, I like that they cut straight to the chase, that he knew who Mary Poppins was. So maybe because he knew her as a child, it wasn't like that. It was like he admired her and wanted to always meet her and join her on her crazy adventures and stuff, but not in that way. Yeah, I like that they kind of took a different approach, and that he actually was in love with Michael's sister Jane. I really like that, you know, because it kind of went in a direction that I wasn't expecting, and I was like, oh, okay, I dig that. I dig that. And I really like Jane in this too. I really like Jane, because they kind of had her, you know, early feminist thing kind of going on, you know. I liked that she was sitting there wearing like pants, because everyone else was there like, you know, the traditional skirts of the era, and there she was like, I'm gonna wear pants, y'all. I kind of like that. I liked her little outfits; they were really cute. Yeah, I really liked Ben Whishaw. I always like Ben Whishaw. Ben Wishaw's just great. It doesn't matter if the movie or television series, whatever he's in, it don't matter if it sucks. He's always great in it. He still looks the same. I did not like his mustache though. I was like, Ben Whishaw is a beautiful man. And it didn't bother me. Take that mustache off him. It's like I had to give him the dad mustache to be like, he is a dad now. Yeah, if he didn't have that mustache, he would have looked like a baby. And been like, I don't think you should have 3 children. Yeah, because Ben Whishaw is so young looking. And yeah, it's like I think they had to make sure he looked believable as a dad. But yeah, I really liked him as an adult version of Michael, because, you know, in the original, you know, Michael's a precocious child, and yeah, here he is as a grown man. He's been through some crap, and I think Ben Whishaw is just doing that really good, you know. We haven't talked about Emily Blunt yet. Oh, how did you like Mary Poppins? I liked how everyone was like, Mary Poppins. Just every line, Mary Poppins. How did you feel about Emily Blunt? I liked her. Yeah, I liked her. I felt she was a good addition. To a new Mary Poppins. Yeah. I feel like she's classy. I feel like she kind of just flowed into the role naturally. Like, she didn't feel out of place. Yeah. It didn't feel weird. It's like I could kind of believe her as, like, Julie Andrews, I suppose. You know, like, I loved her accent. The accent was great. Have we ever seen her sing in anything? Yeah, because she was singing Into the Woods. Oh, I forgot she was in that. Yeah, which Meryl Streep was in Into the Woods too, remember? Yeah. I started thinking about that too. I was like, oh, I don't think I've ever heard Emily Blunt sing, but I have Into the Woods. I kind of always forget about Into the Woods. Forget that movie existed. Yeah, I loved her singing, and
the dance, because, you know, Into the Woods, I don't think there was any sort of dancing, was there?
No.
It's just strictly singing. So that was kind of fun to watch her dance, because I was like, can't she dance? You know, especially in comparison to the professionals in the background. And then Lin Manuel Miranda, you know, since he's a professional dancer as well, you know, I think she really kind of stood toe to toe with him, you know.
I don't know, I think that still felt awkward because we never really watched anything. Or, you know, we've seen Hamilton. Just in clips.
I know that he's a professional, though, you know. I know he's a professional Broadway star, so.
Ben Whishaw started singing and we were both like, can Ben Whishaw sing?
Oh my god, yeah, Ben Whishaw, yeah. As soon as it...
He had a cute voice, so it was okay.
Yeah, as soon as the music kind of started playing for Ben Whishaw...
I didn't think, oh no.
Yeah, as soon as the music kind of started playing and it was heading into Ben Wishaw's song, Michael's song, me and Stephanie kind of looked at each other and were like, can he sing?
I'm a little scared.
And then, yeah, the first note that came out of him, I think we kind of giggled. I giggled anyway. Because I was like, oh, he can
I was just like, whew.
Thank God.
The children were precious.
Oh, those children are adorable. And they could act. What's up with the British? The British...
Only the British kids can act.
Only British kids can act, y'all.
Sorry, you American kids who are trying to get into movies and TV.
What's up with the UK? You guys produce, like, the best child stars.
You produce the best children.
Seriously, you produce the best child stars. It's a little ridiculous.
They don't, which is very rare, even if they don't act so well, they're just so darn cute.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, there's something about British children. They are just absolutely adorable.
They get the most baby-faced, angelic-faced children.
But yeah, I loved all the kids. They were great. Because it's like it's like the kids wanted to prove a point, almost like, hey, we can act like adults, we're not just children.
I hope in like 30 years Mary Poppins returns again, and now we're older. And then we can make a cameo.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the kids?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think of, like, the effects?
Because I was talking about earlier that the animation, at first I was like the animation stuff. The downright drawings of things.
The live action intermingled with the animation.
Yeah. That stuff looked weird at first, and I was like, Jesus, Disney, get it together. But then it hit me, and I was like, oh, they're trying to make this look like the original which, I mean, it wasn't bad, but, like, you could tell that people were on strings, you know, whereas nowadays they try their best not to make you look like you're on the harness.
Yeah.
But, yeah, at first I was like, Jesus, but then I was like, oh, never mind.
Yeah.
They're just giving it that feel.
Yeah.
Because then, you know, the rest of the stuff looked like, you know, Mary Poppins was really flying in the air, and all this other stuff was happening.
Yeah, I think the effects and the animation, they were very deliberate, you know. I think it was all very deliberate to make it look like those old-fashioned live-action / animated movies, you know, like the original Mary Poppins, like Pete's Dragon, like Bedknobs and Broomsticks. I think there's a bunch of others, ain't there? But, you know, like those types, with that type of animation and live action. But yeah, I think it was definitely very deliberate, the CG and animation. And it looked great. I think it definitely looked really, really beautiful. It was just really vibrant and colorful and whimsical. You know, Mary Poppins is supposed to feel very whimsical.
I could have done without Meryl Streep. I could do without Meryl Streep in a lot of movies, but I could do without her in this movie. They just needed to go to somebody to fix a bowl.
Wait, did they end up fixing the bowl?
Which they never went back to.
That bowl did not get
They
fixed.
left the bowl there with her, I believe.
Yeah, there's a moment in the movie that the kids, they're arguing, they break a china bowl that belonged to their mother. It was something very special to them, and the thing is, though, since they were on some financial problems, they thought, oh, let's sell this bowl. Thing is, they chip the bowl. And yeah, they take it to Meryl Streep's character, who's like Mary Poppins' cousin.
And she lives down in Nocturne Alley.
I swear to God, that looked like Nocturne Alley from Harry Potter.
Yeah, because like the way those buildings would be like, had that.
But yeah, they never went back to that, did they?
Mm-mm.
Like unless I'm forgetting, because there was a lot going on.
Because I thought they left it there. to have her fix it.
Yeah.
It was going to take her a day.
Well, she was saying like a week. I think she was saying, I'll come back next Wednesday and I'll fix it or something.
Yeah.
It'll be fixed by then. Yeah, I feel like that could have been edited out. It's like they just wanted an excuse to put Meryl Streep in the movie, you know? I do almost feel like there were too many musical numbers.
Yeah.
It felt kind of episodic, you know? Like, musical number, musical number, musical number. The plot would kind of be scattered in there amongst all the songs, but yeah, it's almost like, oh, we don't really have enough story to tell here. Let's throw in another adventure and whimsical musical number here to take up some time.
But each song had like a life lesson to it, though.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, every scene was important and it meant something, you know, especially for the children. It was supposed to showcase something to the children.
Yeah.
But still, I think there was just too many songs. I could have done without a couple, you know, because I felt like it was starting to drag in a few places. And yeah, there was just a couple songs I was like, okay, come on.
Yeah, it was a 2 hour and 10-minute movie.
Yeah, and I don't think it needed to be that long.
And they probably could have cut out 2 songs and made it about an hour and 50.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, it did feel like the movie really wanted to showcase like Emily Blunt and Lin Manuel Miranda. You know, like, oh, we really want to showcase their special talents and gifts as actors. You know, and like Meryl Streep too. You know, like we want to showcase how special these guys are. They're great actors. And yeah, it's like they just kind of felt like they were like, oh, that's an excuse to throw in a song here when you didn't really need it. It almost felt like an ego trip. Sometimes, you know, like, oh, look how great these actors are. They can sing and dance. It's like, we know that. You don't have to keep showing us that they can sing and dance. We know they can. Don't just throw in a song in there to keep showcasing that, you know. So yeah, that would be my only complaint, really. Trim it down a little bit, because I think there was a little bit of fat that could have been cut off. Colin Firth. We didn't talk about Colin Firth. I love Colin Firth. And he was an asshole in this. You know, why was he so fixated on taking away the Banks home?
And how was he the wolf in the bowl?
Because that's what the kids were seeing him as. The kids were seeing...
Wasn't that his voice, though, too?
Yeah, that was Colin Firth. Yeah, once they kind of showed the watch, I was like... And he had like a little flower on his lapel. I was like, oh, that's Colin Firth. Because that's how the kids were seeing him. They were seeing him as a ferocious wolf. You know, that he was conning them. And, you know, the adults couldn't see that he was conning them. But yeah, I always loved Colin Firth, and I was so upset that he was a bad guy in this. But yeah, I got a little confused about that whole thing. Why is he so fixated on taking the Banks home?
Yeah, like, was he jealous?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think they really gave us a clear motivation. I don't know if the motivation was simply that he's just a greedy guy.
Yeah.
He's just a greedy guy, because they even said his associates were even sitting there saying, oh, like, we've taken 19 homes this week and there's like another 19 next week. Like, that's all he cares about, is just the more money he can make for himself.
Could it be too,
you know?
because his father worked there? Was that what it was? His father worked there before?
Maybe. Well, who was Dick Van Dyke in relation to him? That was his uncle, right? Because didn't he say my nephew?
Yeah.
You know, why didn't they just have Dick Van Dyke play Bert? Why did he have to be a new character? That kind of felt a little weird. That would have been great if he was Bert and then he ran into Mary Poppins and she'd be like, oh, you're so old now, Bert. But look at me, I'm gorgeous.
Look at me.
Look at me, I'm still young and gorgeous. Still, that was a nice cameo from him, though. I liked his little cameo.
He came and saved the day.
The thing is, though, if it's like, oh, it's Bert, you know, it's kind of distracting. It's hard to see him as, well, that other character.
Thing is, like, he's so old looking now. He doesn't look like he did.
But still, it's like, you know, the only people who wouldn't really know would be like little children. But yeah, it's like, I knew in the back of my head, because that would have been great if then Mary Poppins like, oh, hello, look at me, I'm still hot. You're old. Is that it? Is there a particular scene you liked?
Well, I said my favorite musical number was the lamp lighting people.
Yeah. I like that a lot, too.
I liked the dancing. And I don't know, I liked the song, too, because it was talking about lighting your way.
I liked all the balloon stuff at the end.
Yeah, I liked the balloon thing,
too. Colin Firth, his balloon, when it floated. That was perfect. And the little Willoughby the dog, he had his own little balloon, too. Yeah, I like that whole ending sequence.
Nobody was freaked out, though. Everybody was cool with floating up in the air. I find that a little scary.
I think everybody was high. Everybody in London is high. You know what? Everybody in London knew who Mary Poppins was. I feel like it's as if, like, because she has come in and out of so many people's lives, maybe, that everyone just kind of knows who she is. You know? That we've only seen her in 2 movies, but she's maybe come back for other adventures with other people.
And I don't know if I am wrong or not, but the only time that it was a very bright and beautiful blue day was that final scene. Am I wrong? Or was that correct?
You know what? I think I'm sitting there thinking about the
daylight,
animated. Yeah.
But it would be daylight.
Kind of that fogginess
still,
like London is.
Yeah, it still wasn't a beautiful, bright blue day. It was like a low, like a slight overcast the whole movie.
Because then the only bright spots would be the songs.
Yeah.
Or a lot of them took place at night. A lot of the musical numbers took place at night or in the animated world.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the only completely blue day, because even my eyes were like, this feels weird, and I think that's why. I think because it was very bright. Because everything cleared up.
It was all happy, everyone had their happy ending, yay! So, something we were pondering on our way back from watching the movie, we were wondering if there's a possibility of them making a 3rd movie, maybe jumping up a decade or so, kind of going right up to World War II. Maybe something with Michael. Michael has to go off to war. Either he dies, like maybe at Dunkirk or something horrible like that, or maybe not necessarily dying, since he would have been a child in the first one, and then he's adult in the second one, and then maybe the 3rd one, I mean, if they don't necessarily want to kill him, he can lose a limb or get severely injured or something, and he's going through PTSD, and the children don't understand, and then Mary Poppins comes back into their life again, and that would make for a good 3rd movie. I would watch that. But I don't want them to just kind of make a 3rd one just for the heck of it. I think there needs to be a really good storyline. I think that would be a really good storyline with a World War II focus, Because this one took place during the Great Depression, I guess, somewhere in there. They kept calling it the Great Slump or whatever. Any final thoughts, Stephanie?
No.
No? Stephanie's like, no, I'm done. Overall, final concluding thoughts on Mary Poppins Return, Stephanie.
It was enjoyable.
Very enjoyable. Great performances. I don't know if the songs are necessarily memorable,
Yeah.
But they were still good. I still really enjoyed them. I did. They're not like super califragilisticexpialidocious. It's nothing like that. You're not, But overall, really enjoyable, pleasantly surprised. Exceeded my expectations, I guess. So Stephanie, what would you give Mary Poppins Returns on a scale of 1 to 10 Mickey years?
An 8.
An 8? Oh, I liked it more than that.
Oh.
I think I liked it more than that. I don't know about giving a full out 10, because I think it, like I said, I think it did have some flaws. But not flaws.
I guess a 9.
Yeah, not flaws that totally irritated me and took me out of the movie, but I think it could have been trimmed a little. So I'd probably give it a 9 at least. So have you guys seen Mary Poppins Returns? What did you think about it? Did you love it? Maybe you hated it. If you hated it, that's okay. Talk with us down in the comments below. So, that's it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like this video, you may like these other videos. Bye, guys.